Dai, take us over to your perspective. You brought us a completely different view, true to the notion of where were your ancestors anywhere in the world in this period of the Enlightenment. Tell us what was going
Yes.
on.
So my article was a look at education and literacy in a small rural place in Wales. I don't really know much about my 18th century ancestors, but what I do know about one branch of my family is that at that time they were preparing their children with education. So what I decided to do was to focus my article on an object related to this process that was happening. And that object was a chest of books that was received in 1765 at the Anglican Church in the parish of Keslan. And this chest of books was their first lending library. And so then what I tried to do was wrap up the presence of this new lending library in what was going on at that time related to education to kind of get to the answer of why at this point in history did this chest of books arrive there. And so what you see is all kinds of local stories about education and literacy. You have the early example from the beginning of the century of a school opening at the nearby Kilgwin Chapel, which is where my ancestors went to chapel. You have the circulating Welsh charity school movement, where temporary schools were being founded all across the country to teach people how to read in Welsh, most of them being working class adults. And then in the parish of Keslan specifically, 48 people attended day classes just 5 years before this lending library arrived there. And then in the nearby parishes, there were hundreds more who were learning from these circulating schools. You've got these farming families sending their children off to England to get an English education, which is something that some of my ancestors were doing that same decade. And then you get all these fascinating examples of people reading and writing literature, people reading specifically revolutionary poetry from the French and American revolutions, which is something that I'm looking more into now. And like, I love how Barbara has fit the story that I sent into this broader story of the US 250 years ago. Like, it's easy to focus in on the conflict of revolution, but there's so much that has to go into like the intellectual foundation of the society for revolution to even happen. Like, people need to have the tools to imagine how things could be different and to share ideas through print and reading. And that, of course, is where education comes in. Like, that's the power of things like this little lending library at Keslan and this radical tradition of education that my article looks at. And I think it's just so important to look back at these small local processes to help us then go on to envision a better future for all of us to live in.